Room. Scanning the room. This is a terrible camera. Fantastic. All right, people. Oh, I didn't. Oh, Dylan, I don't want to miss you. All right, and then people on the phone. There's 4 people on that phone, just so you know. Now I'm gonna hand this over here, so we can start this speech. Ooh.
Is it looking at you?
I don't know. Yep. Now we're good. Sweet. Cool. All right. So, thank you guys for coming. First off, and I'm just gonna talk to you guys about guitar strings because I know you're all interested in guitar strings. It's fantastic. So, getting started, you are going to have to choose between which kind of guitar you have to pick the right set of strings. We're just gonna stick with the basics. So, just a 6-string acoustic or a 6-string electric. You can have a 12-string acoustic. You can have a 7-string electric, a bunch of other things, but we're going to stick to the basics. So, we're going to go with an electric guitar. So, after you have picked what kind of guitar you're going for, the next thing to do is to pick the gauge of strings that you want to play with. So, they pretty much go light, medium, and heavy, which means truthfully, if playing light, it's for beginners normally, or for people that are trying to work on speed, things like that. They recommend it because it's easier on your fingers, and you can bend a lot of notes a lot easier. Medium style strings, which is actually what's on that Telecaster, just sound a little bit beefier. They stay in tune a little bit more and they last a little bit longer. And then heavy strings you probably will never use in your life unless you're playing metal music or dropping in alternative tunings. So after that, some prices of guitar strings, depending on what you have. For acoustics, normally you're going to find things like elixirs. These are just the most common guitar string that you're going to find. Another one's just Martin brand, things like that. And then for electrics, you have Ernie Ball Slinkies, which are the worst strings in the world. Sorry, that's my opinion. I don't want to say that. And you have Diodarios and elixirs too. They make electric strings also. So the reason their price varies is because of the coating on the strings. So if you have a guitar that is uncoated, or the strings that are uncoated, that means that there is nothing protecting the guitar between your fingers and the strings, causing the guitar to go out of, lose its life a lot quicker. This means that pretty much the high-end frequencies of your guitar die a lot quicker, from grease in your hands to just dirt and rust if you leave them on forever like Dylan does. Coated strings help solve that problem by literally taking a string, putting it into a bath of chemicals, taking it out, letting it dry, and it protects your string for a lot longer, leaving just a longer lasting guitar string that stays, has its high end for a lot longer. So, next we're going to talk about tuner heads. So, this is important too when you're stringing a guitar specifically. So you have 2 types of tuner heads, at least 2 types that we're going to talk about, which is vintage style tuners, which they're called split head tuners. You can see that because there's a little ridge right in the middle. And then you have machine head tuners. Now this is what's normally found. This is what's on modern guitars most of the time. And the reason you can tell the difference is because instead of that split happening right here, there's a hole actually between the tuning head. So it's just a newer way of doing it. It's a lot easier to tune, a lot easier to put a string on. So I'm actually going to show you guys how to string one because it's very important, because this also messes with your tone with the string because you can mess up your guitar. So I don't feel like putting new strings on, so I'm using an old string that's on here. So for a vintage style tuner, what you want to do is take the guitar string, you want to put it into this little hole that's in there, and you want to wrap it around the inside of your guitar. That's very important. If you wrap it around the other side of your guitar, it's actually going to knock the intonation off because you're putting pressure in the wrong spot. So you want to take that and you want to wrap it around and then hold here and then start turning the tuning peg clockwise until, or counterclockwise until the string gets tight. And I'm not going to do all that because it's going to take forever. So Once the string gets tight, it stays right in the saddle, and you also want to keep pressure down onto the string because the sharper the point at the bottom, the longer the string's going to last and the more it's going to stay in tune. So yeah, that's pretty much it on guitar strings. Hope you guys enjoy this. Thanks.
Yay.